Hi guys, it's Erica, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing my plant shelf setup, and this is going to be from everything to grow lights to like what shelf I have, just everything regarding the shelf except for the plants. I'm going to be doing a plant shelf tour in a separate video, so if you want to see that later on, you can subscribe to my channel and thumbs up this video if you enjoy it. Okay, anyways, let's get into it. So pretty much the shelf I got from IKEA, and then everything else I got off of Amazon. I'm gonna have every single thing linked down below. So if you wanna check it out, you can click the links down below, see how it's going. I'm gonna have the price of everything at the end of this video. So we're gonna kind of go over how much a shelf like this costs to get, and it's honestly a really easy thing to set up. It took me a really long time because I'm just like a slow person. I take my time, I just go with the flow. But if you want this plant shelf set up in a day, that is definitely achievable. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you what I got. This is my shelf, and it is a 5-tiered shelf. There's nothing up here because, as you can see, it is very dark and I don't think plants would like it up there. So I just leave that empty without plants. I really love this setup. Like, it's amazing. I kind of need to get another one, but now is not the time for that. So this one is just what I'm going with. I don't really have a lot of good lighting in my house, which is why I just have this shelf. All the plants on here only live, you know, because of these grow lights, which are amazing. So yeah, let's show you what's going on. I hope that you can kind of see everything and that it's not too bright, but I'm gonna leave the lights on so you can see. These are my grow lights. They come in, I think, 2, 4, and 6 packs. I have 8 lights in total on this 4-tiered shelf, sorry. So here are my grow lights. There's 2 on each shelf, so each shelf looks exactly the same. And I have this connector cord. This did not come with the grow lights. I purchased that separately, but it wasn't too much money. And the reason I did that is because each light, so this light, like if you buy 6 lights, you're gonna get 6 cords that come from here and then they plug in. So instead of having 8 cords to plug into my outlet, I only have 4. And that's a lot better because I don't have a lot of space to plug in all these lights. So I have these on here. The way that I stuck these up is I got some double-sided tape. This specifically, this double-sided tape, I just picked this up at Target one day because I really needed to set it up, and it works amazingly. So I have one little strip here and I have one little strip here, and that is how I have set it up for every single layer. So it's really good. There's no chance that these are falling off. Like, they are stuck there. It's actually probably going to be hard for me to take off if I ever want to. So if you want something that is more interchangeable, I wouldn't recommend that tape. Maybe a different route would be better for you, because that tape is just not like you're not getting that off if you want to switch it out. Okay, so you can see here I have every layer has this cord, and I have stuck on, because these were kind of like flapping and it didn't look good. But you don't have to do this. I just zip tied them up here, cut off the ends. You can see that, except for this one over here. This one I didn't cut off, so I'm gonna do that now, just so you can see how it was. Okay, there we go. Oh, this one either. Wow, you can clearly see. I need to get it together. And I chose white zip ties. There are so many different colored zip ties. Like, if you have a shelf that's dark brown, I think it would be better to use dark brown zip ties, just so that it's not as obvious that there are zip ties there. It looks pretty neat this way. Like, you can't tell that there are any cords hanging around. And then I also kind of made these lights like skewed, so they're not perfectly aligned with each other. And the reason that I did this is because if I step back, you can see that one single light is not long enough to cover the whole expanse of the shelf, and I want the whole entire shelf to get light. So by skewing it like this, we can have a little bit of light here, a little bit light here, and then when they overlap in the middle, that's where the most light is. So I like it like that. I want the whole entire shelf to be getting light. So maybe when you're putting your plants on your shelf, you can have ones that need less light over here, like on the edges, and then ones that need more light here. Like you can see that my plants are kind of leaning towards the area where the lights are doubled. Since my outlet is on this side, I wanted to make sure that all of the cords to plug in are on this side, because it would have been so annoying if I had some cords, you know, like zigzagging across. So yeah, that little loop is on this side of the whole entire shelf. And then coming over here, like I said, I'm sorry that it's a little dirty, but I have it trailing down here, and then I zip tied this on here so that if I just want to turn off like one light, like I could press that, and then this whole top shelf is like dark. And then this one turns off that light, and then keep going down here, turns off this light. And then completely at the bottom, which is not an easy one to find, is this one I could turn off. And then please don't mind the dirt. But you can just turn it back on very easily. Like, it's a lot easier to find it. It's a lot easier to find each one since they're kind of like zip tied on like this, because otherwise it would be like such a hassle. Like these lights would be, or these switches would be flinging around. But like I said, every single light comes with one of these. It has a switch on it to make it easier so you don't have to be plugging and unplugging your lights. So I really appreciate that. These lights are amazing. Coming down here, I'm gonna have to move some plants out of this area to see what's going on. Sorry, this is rough. So all my cords are kind of shoved under this bottom tier, which is why I'm really grateful that it's not see-through, because otherwise you would see all these ugly cords everywhere. But I have this one extension cord, and I have 3 of the 4 plugs into there. And then I have my extra light plugged into here that didn't fit because this extension cord only held 3 lights. So that was unfortunate. And I have it clipped to this, and this I could press to turn on and off the lights. So I used to have this timer. This is it. And the thing about this is that it only has one like place to plug an outlet, and I only have this 3, you know, this extension cord that holds 3 lights. So I had one plug of lights that didn't even fit on it. So my dad got me this, and it's supposed to connect to Wi-Fi and connect to your phone, but I don't know, it's not working for me, and I'm just too lazy to figure it out. So I just wake up in the morning and click it on or off. And before I go to bed, I click it on or off again, and it works really great. So I'm not mad about it, but if it did work, it would probably be amazing, because it's supposed to have a timer on it. It's supposed to connect to your phone so you could turn it on or off from an app. But this is tried and true. This one 100% works through thick or thin, so I really like a timer like this. I think that covers pretty much everything about the grow lights. I also have my handy dandy, you know, moisture or thermometer. This is the humidity in my room. I have the humidifier off right now because it gets a little loud when I film. I like to keep the humidity around 60% though. You can see the all-time high is at 91% and the low is 21, which is not good. but I have it there. Which reminds me, my humidifiers. I have my first humidifier right here, my classic Levoit. I love this humidifier. It's just small, compact, and it does its little thing. So, love this guy. This is the first one that I bought. It's a lot cheaper than the other one that I have. So if you're on a budget, I would recommend this guy. Yeah, I leave this one on all the time at low, and he just does his thing, humidifying. And then over here I have my Big Mama humidifier. This is also a humidifier that so many plant people have, and for good reason. This humidifier is amazing. I have it right now. It's out of water and I didn't refill it because I'm filming and I knew I was gonna film, but there's so many settings. I keep it set to 60%. So it's always at 60%. It's always at the highest heat it could possibly be at because it's winter right now. And I usually have to refill it every single day because my heater is on in my house a lot and that really affects humidity. So I'm usually refilling it every day, even though it holds so much water. I love it, but yeah. And whenever it gives out air, it kind of goes up like that, and then it trails down here. And that's the reason that I keep it over here instead of actually on my shelf. The trajectory of the steam, or you know, whatever mist, goes pretty high. So if I had it on my shelf right here and it went up, it would probably maybe loosen the lights from here and they might fall. And then also I don't want to be taking up precious light space from my plants, so I just keep it over there. And I also have a little fan right here. This is just for the airflow. I don't like to open my windows right now because it's cold outside. It's not super cold, but on warm days I'll open my windows, but usually I'll just have this little fan on, and I think it's dead right now, but I'll usually have it plugged into there so it can be running at all times. So yeah, I like this little fan. It's cute. It moves. I just clipped it on here. If I wanted, I could move it, you know, to this level and then it will be blowing air there. It's just a little extra thing that I have. I also have this extra mirror right here, and I have that there because I got it from Goodwill and it reflects light back onto the plants, so why not? It was very cheap. So another little thing though about this shelf is that it's not very tall, like within layers, so I can't fit some plants on it. Like for example, this orchid does not fit on the shelf because the top part will get cut off. The only reason this orchid fits on here is because I have it kind of sticking out a little bit. I'm just glad that the flower spike came through on the edge like that. But yeah, so my fried egg doesn't fit on there, so I'll usually have it sitting, oh baby. I'll usually have it sitting like this, which is why the leaves are all crazy like that. That's like one of the only downsides about this shelf. Other than that, it's really amazing and I love it. I think that I covered everything. Like I said, every single thing on the shelf will be linked down below. So we're gonna get into the cost analysis of this thing right now. Okay, so now that you guys have seen the shelf, we can kind of go over the cost of what, you know, this shelf in general with the grow lights and everything. It's a really amazing shelf. It's such a great plant setup. My plants love it. But, you know, how much did it cost to get to this point? It was a lot. So let's just go over it. So for the shelf in itself, it was $79.99, and this is gonna be everything without tax. It's a great shelf. This is, like I've been saying over and over again, this is the 4-tiered one. So there's also kind of a half version of this, and I'm not sure how much it is, but I'm sure that it's a lot cheaper. So if you don't have many plants that you want to put in your plant shelf, you can definitely get one of those, and it's probably going to cut the cost in half. But so yeah, the shelf was $79.99, and I have a video of me kind of setting that up that you can watch if you want to. And okay, the grow lights. So these grow lights are amazing. I love them. I think that they're pretty, I think that they're a good price for what they do. There are some grow lights that are marketed specifically as grow lights and they get pretty pricey. These aren't marketed specifically as grow lights, but they are good for grow lights. So that's why I think the price is better. There is a 2, 4, and 6-pack version, and obviously when you buy more in a pack, it's gonna lower the cost. So I'm assuming that it's gonna be cheaper if you buy a 6-pack and then just get the 2 extra in a separate. So the 6-pack of grow lights actually costs the same amount as the shelf itself, and that is $79.99. So yeah, right now we're at $159.98, so the price goes up pretty quickly. And then to get, you know, maybe that bottom layer of grow lights, it's gonna be an extra $38.98. So 99 cents, sorry. So now we have our shelf, we have the skeleton of our shelf, we have the shelf and we have the grow lights, and then we gotta buy some tape to stick on the grow lights. And when I bought the tape, it was only $4.99 compared to everything else on this list. It's the least expensive thing. So the tape, I bought a full roll obviously specifically for this, and I have this much left over, so a full roll is perfect. And yeah, at $4.99. I'm gonna have this tape linked down below. I couldn't find it on Amazon, so I'm linking it to Target, but you could probably find something similar to this tape on Amazon. I'll link that one. So it's $203.96 for everything. We now have our grow lights attached and it's looking good. This is where you can kind of stop. But if you stop here, you're gonna have eight cords hanging off this thing. And like I was showing you, those connectors, I had to purchase them separately, and those were $12.68. And I think that's fine to like, that's a low price to pay in order to have only 4 plugs to put into an outlet rather than having 8 plugs to put into an outlet, because that's just ridiculous. I don't know, you're gonna have extension cords like a lot at that point. So I think it's worth it to just spend the extra $12.68 if you can. But I'm gonna have those linked down below. I keep repeating it, you get it, everything's linked. But yeah, I got the 4-foot ones and those seemed to fit perfectly, so I wouldn't recommend going any smaller than 4 feet. Yeah, once we put all that together, our total cost of this shelf comes out to be $216.64. So we're at $216.64. I didn't include the little zip ties. That's more of an aesthetic thing. I'm sure it's really not much extra. I found some around my house. I didn't need to go out and purchase those. And then I also have that little fan. Oh, there it is. That little fan. That was my mom's fan for her nails. That I think you could find them around $15. I'll look one up right now. Okay, so I found, I think, the exact same one for like $21, but there's ones on here that are like $12. So if you want one, like, you could just throw it in there. It's not necessary if you have good airflow in your house. I unfortunately don't, so I sometimes need to turn that little fan on. And I also didn't include the humidifier costs, but those are a big cost. That's like an extra, probably like $150 tagged onto this price. But yeah, it is a lot of money, but that's actually the reason why I don't have another shelf yet. I've been holding off on buying plants for that specific reason, kind of, you know, saving up to have another shelf so that I can buy more plants. But some of my plants are a little like, they don't have homes right now. I also have these little bulbs, like you probably saw up there, like there's a light coming out. That's a bulb in a regular lamp, but it's a grow light bulb. I have a grow light video if you want to see it, so that you don't have to be looking for expensive, specifically grow lights. You can look for like regular lights that also function as grow lights, but they're not marketed as such. I think that was a really that was like an eye opener when I realized that you didn't have to only buy just grow lights. So I have a video on that. I think it's gonna be very helpful to you to choose your own grow lights at a hopefully lower cost than it would be for buying specifically grow lights. And these are white light. I really like having white light because the pink light hurts my eyes. I do have a pink light grow light. I do have a purple grow light, but it's somewhere else. Also, just adding on really quickly, for more kind of budget-friendly options, you can definitely you could go to Goodwill, Salvation Army, look at the furniture they have there. Depending on where you live, there might not be a lot of like shelves for sale there, but there's also other options such as like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist if you want to do that. Just like look around for some cheaper options. That is it for today's video. I hope it was really helpful to you. I'm sure a lot of you kind of have a similar setup to this one. This is just what mine is like, and I keep saying it over and over again, but I absolutely love it. So this thing is amazing. It's a lifesaver. Leave any comments down below if you have any questions about anything that I might have missed, forgot to touch on, you know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!